are a little early, so I've got a few things I'm setting up, and welcome. And we're going to be working on a geode box today, so that's exciting. So this is the one we've been working on, and I've resined the top. I still don't have the hinges and latches and stuff on yet, but you can see how that turned out very thick. Really enjoyed making this treasure box, like under the sea. I have a finish on the bottom and the edges that's going to stay just like that. It's kind of a satin finish. And the inside, I resined the bottom after adding shells and seaweed and starfish and stuff. And I love the way the top front turned out with that. So what I need to do is just take a brush and resin over my water after I spray seal the rest of it. So that's what I've got to do there. But it turned out really pretty. I'm very happy with it. I like it. I think someone will be pleased with it. And then the latch will go on the treasure box. I highlighted a little, but not a lot. So it is what it is. So that was kind of cool. And I do love the way the stingrays turned out, the softness of this section. And the liveliness of this side. I thought was fun with the little guys. So very cool. Yay. I hope you're doing treasure boxes. Oh, thank you for my flowers. That's gotta be Randall. Thank you, Randall. Welcome. That is so sweet. I appreciate that. Yeah, that turned out very cool. And man, your painting is fabulous. If you haven't checked out paintings by Randall, you guys, he's been working on one. He posted the video. It's got the Little Mermaid sound to it, so you'll know you're on the right one. But it's got the stingrays, and it's like embellished with the gold leaf and this, or maybe not leaf, it's that paint. Anyway, it's beautiful. Lots of different sparkle in that. Absolutely perfect. Thank you. Okay, so I guess we'll get started on this. So you'll probably want to put some gloves on. And I haven't taken the hinges off of these yet because I'm just working on the tops. So what I've got is a couple different stages. I have the gesso on here, that's dry. And then the next stage is after we've put the spackling on. This is dry spackling that I put on. And I dug out just a little bit of the areas I want my shine. So that way, thank you, that's beautiful. Thank you, Randall. That way, you get this different area to set those gems down in a little bit because your spackling comes up around the side. This one's pretty shallow. I made this one a little bit deeper for maybe bigger gemstones or whatever. But if you decide that your gemstones and your glass basically is coming up too high, you don't want people cut on it. So we are going to do a frog tape around the side of this box, and we will resin over the top of it, leaving some probably of the little glass sticking up. But it will be much safer, and it has a beautiful look to it, like they just sliced it. So that's what we're gonna do for that. All of the rest of this treasure box, just paint any way you want. I'm going to go with a white rock on one and a black rock on the other. So this will be white all around, and this will be black. And then I will go ahead and add just rock shapes with shadows, highlights, and, you know, darker values. So that's what we'll do on those. Welcome. Thanks, guys. Okay, this is another option for those of you that like to sculpt and you're into things like this. This is epoxy sculpt. So it's an epoxy product and it comes in 2 parts, just like your regular epoxy resin. You will have equal parts of each, and you just dig them out with gloved hands and start kneading them together. They're 2 different colors, so that when they're fully kneaded together, it's about 3 minutes, then you won't see any different variation of color. It'll all be one color. So I've got mine in black this time. I have huge tubs, I've got to work through it. But they do sell white and other colors, and they also sell small tubs. I just got mine from Amazon. But this is an awesome product because you can actually leave it outside and it'll last. It's not even, you don't even have to seal it. So, but you can drill it and paint it and all that. So this is the one that I started adding the epoxy sculpt to. And I just pressed it all wherever I felt like I wanted rock looking. I mean, it is super, super hard. So what I will do with this one is I'm just going to paint rock look all the way around, and then on the inside I'm gonna have the slab of sliced agate, whatever, geode, in there on the top and the bottom. So that's the plan with this one, which is epoxy sculpt. I also want to add, once I figure out, I had to sand down this because I got carried away and I forgot I have to add a latch, but so be careful about that. But once I get that working right, I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit more epoxy sculpt. You can just continue to add this stuff, it's fabulous, and it'll hang on. And then put just a little bit of the crystals. This is what I'm talking about. Let's see. These are just nail design crystals I got off of Amazon. They came in a set. So, with a bunch of different colors. I'm not thrilled with the color choices that they gave me. But I can understand it, I mean, because it's like nail design, right? So, anyway, but there are a lot of pastel, which is pretty. It's just not ones you usually find, well, maybe, I don't know, we'll see. That one's pretty. But anyway, so I got these in like this little box for cheaps off of Amazon on a nail design crystals, and I figured there's the perfect amounts, plus they have a great container you can save afterwards. Always looking for that. So that, I thought, we'd just do a little pocket of crystals just to let them know, oh, okay, this could be interesting, you know, give them a hint, something might be good inside, I don't know. So there's that plan, and this will probably be Thursday because we're working with Spackling today. Thanks, guys. Welcome, everybody. Okay, let's see. Let's get our gloves on, and we're just going to go ahead with some light spackling and put it on top of your treasure box. Now, if you are working with a canvas, or, you know, like a small canvas, it has to be tight. If it's not tight, flip that puppy over, paint a little resin on the back, and let it sit, and that will be a beautiful substrate to do whatever you want on top of. It's not going to go anywhere after that. Won't sag or anything. So your little cheapy canvases or whatever like that, use those. It's a really cool idea. Okay, so we're gonna get the spackling out, and I've already put gesso down and it's dry. However, you don't have to wait for it to dry. You can just go ahead and put the spackling right on top of it. Just don't make the gesso really thick. But I do like to gesso my treasure boxes. The reason is because it helps seal it, keeps just one more layer of keeping the air bubbles out when I go to resin it. And then also it gives the paint or unicorn spit or whatever I'm using some more teeth to hang on to the box. So I've got it gessoed. I'm just gonna get some spackling in my fingers. I noticed last night, the longer the spackling set out, the easier it was to work with. So you don't want to wait till it starts getting dry, but if it's getting so sticky you can't do anything with it, just give it a minute, set it aside, and go get a cup of coffee or whatever and come back. There's no right or wrong way to do this, y'all. You can do it with a palette knife, you can do it with your fingers, I don't care, brush. You can make it even or bumpy depending on what kind of a design you want to end up with. You just want a nice thick area in the middle or wherever you're going to start digging it out. And I say thick, don't know, let's see, probably, let's see. So it's not really that thick, it's about little tiny. That helped. I'm sure of it. All right. And remember, you do want to go to the edge with at least one thin layer of spackling. And then from that edge, you can come up and make it thicker, lower, thinner, whatever. But cover at least to the edge with one layer. Once this dries fully, and that's usually 24 hours, then we'll be able to design it and frog tape it and pour resin over it. So right now I'm going to take these gloves off because it's hard to work with this mess, and I'll show you just how easy it is to dig out the center where all of your pretty rocks and crystals are going to go. And you can do this, you know, on a canvas or anything. You can use this spackling as long as you resin it, making sure that your canvas is very tight. I like to use the cradle boards for things like this. And a lot of times I flip them around so you don't have to tape anything, you just use that board as the edge. And the resin holds just perfectly, it's fabulous. You can get it really nice and thick and do a lot of dimensional clay work in there. The epoxy sculpt, you can go ahead and make your coral or fish or octopus or whatever it is, put it in a cradle board, and then, you know, have a painted design in the back and then pour resin. It's fine over the epoxy sculpt. It's just fabulous. All right, so let's dig out the little hole for the geode. These I dug out one that is just one, and I don't like them like dead center, you know, off to the side is usually better, and then just balance wise I think. And then on this one I dug out just two little areas, and I thought I'd have some of that quartz white whatever it is going through here. But if I don't like it, you can always just take it out, you know, or add more. Just keep designing until it feels right to you, whatever you like. All right, so digging this out, there's really no reason to use a razor knife at this point, except that it's sharpened, so it's a good tool. Not like you have to cut down on anything. Thought I had okay, this is a good tool for your little sculpting purposes. You know, it's got the silicone tip, so it washes really easily. And you do want to wash your implements. So I kind of like the idea of the two again, and this is the front of the treasure box. So remember we talked about the rule of thirds, how you do a tic-tac-toe on the piece that you're working on, and wherever those lines cross are optimal places to feature something. So thinking like that, I do want to use one of those places for the sparkly up here, and then probably one of those places down here. Just in different shapes, so I don't want it to look, you know, like snake eyes or something. However, that's not a bad idea. That might be fun. Somebody start working on that. So I'm just taking that little tool and digging it out. Hi guys, welcome. I'm sorry, I just got carried away here. Randall, Paintings by Randall, he is helping moderate, and welcome, and I totally appreciate you, Randall. Thank you. I don't know who is here and who's not. I have not looked over. I just hope you all are having a blast. Having a beautiful day today. Now, if you didn't want to do this right now, like you got called away or something, you can come back and just scrape that out. It's not that hard to drill out, sand off, whatever. It's quite workable. But I just find it easier to do it right as I lay it down. You can go ahead and, if you wanted some stones in the spackling area and say maybe you don't know, you probably aren't going to paint it or something like that, even if you are, you could lay those in there now and let it dry around it, since you are going to resin over it. The thing I consider when doing the treasure box lids is that's your wear and tear area. You want it sturdy, but also beautiful, you know. So when you use the spackling, go ahead and make sure you resin over it. Beautiful piece to last. And you know, there will be parts, once you frog tape it, use the high enough ledge and we'll go through that. But when you pour your resin, once everything's in, you'll come up, like this already has a bow on this box, just naturally is how it's built. So that's still gonna be there. As I build my frog tape up and I pour my resin, this side resin is gonna be thick, and then it's gonna go shallow over where the white raises up, right? But it'll still cover all of it. So that's what I'm looking for, is a full coverage. If some parts stick up after the resin has been poured on top, that's fine. The bumpiness or whatever, I think, just kind of adds to it. So, but just to make sure that everything has at least one coat of layer of resin, then I know it's safe and secure and I can ship it and it's not going to be any problem. I need water or something. Welcome, Eliandris. Hey, welcome. Aw, look how cute, thank you. Aw, that's adorable. It's July and I'm in a long sleeve black shirt. So, yay, thank you so much. That's a happy little sign. All right, so I've got my two little holes of the geodes dug out. I'm gonna make one just a little bit bigger. That's what I'm gonna do. And this is just all preference, whatever you want. Somehow I lost that. I did find out that after you wait for a while, you can take, hold on, this is loud. Okay, so you can take wax paper and get a sheet of it. If you want your top real smooth, and just let it sit there, and then just take your straight, whatever that is, stir stick, and just go across it, or just pat it down with your hands, and then peel it up really easy, and it's nice and even, nice and smooth. So that was kind of cool, but you do have to wait for a little while before you do that. I ended up with snake eyes, y'all. Somebody should have stopped me. Let me change something. All right. Oh, this is cool. See, that's what I like about it. If you're willing to continue to play with your creation, that's all it is. Because when you start thinking, okay, I messed up here, and you start playing with it, pretty soon something else pops up that you didn't have before, and it makes an addition to what you were creating. It's not a bad thing. So yeah, I kind of like the flow of this. It is still snake eyes. Nothing wrong with snake eyes. I'm just gonna end up with one huge geode thingy. Talk about that ASMR or whatever it's called. This would be it for me, just totally playing and spackling. I gotta get my... Okay, so I'm satisfied with this. So I do have a bigger and a smaller, and then I have a little area that I can do just a very shallow little bit of the glitter in, so that's good. I'm gonna let this set off to the side, and we'll start working with the ones that we already have the hole in, and it's dry-ish. It's almost been maybe 12 hours. So, right. The plaster in Paris, I think, is slower. I've got some, but I really can't honestly tell you. It really depends on what type of spackling you use. Like this dries slower than this. This one dries really fast. So that's the lightweight. So I guess you just have to play with it, and I imagine it depends on what it's sitting on as well. So what I'm gonna do here on this one, let's see, one's gonna be white, one's gonna be dark. The first thing I think I wanna do is put some white ink right down there. Find it. And it doesn't have to be ink. It can be acrylic paint. It can stay whatever color you want. You can put black down there. I'm looking for something to put it on. Seriously need plates or something around here. Hold on. This will work. But I like the inks. The inks because on a treasure box, it doesn't add dimension. Just kind of soaks in, nice and thin, stays close to the wood, in the wood. I also have to break out my unicorn spit at this point, I'm afraid. See, this one, it doesn't do that for us, it just kind of peters out. And this side, nothing as well, so I'm back to just adding white randomly wherever. But the front was awesome, so we'll take it. Alright, so I'm putting that ink aside for a second. And I want to go to the unicorn spit in gray. Yes. come in.
looks so different in here.
Huh?
It looks so different in here. Grandpa's watching your life.
Oh, is he?
He's like, I was definitely invited.
Well, come in. Alright, so this is Marissa, my granddaughter, who I call Pixie. I'll lower mine. You lower yours, I'll raise mine. Hey, good timing. Alright, so...
Those filter makes me feel a little baby.
So, this is Marissa, my granddaughter. Say hey. Alright, so I've got this one and this one that I've got some white on. And we're just fixing to go ahead and put some decoration or paint or whatever on. So, which one do you want? The one with the one hole or the one with the thing? Whatever that is.
I'll do the one with the hole.
Okay. Alright, and then those are some crystals, and here's some others. And I put this on because I was just fixing to work with some unicorn spit. So there's tiny gloves or extra large gloves. It's like, those are really, really tiny. But you have tiny hands, you just have long hands. So that might work better.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you're working with the unicorn spit, you definitely, since you just got your nails done, you definitely want to put your gloves on.
Just a little bit dozed off. Grandpa helped me. Dozed off in the kitchen.
That's funny. Well, you're also the moderator now. You have to look over once in a while and tell me what's going on.
Hi, sorry. Oh, Sherry said, sorry I'm late here.
Oh, Sherry.
And I can't stay long.
Okay, we'll take anything we can get.
And then Shannon said, hi, Auntie.
Aw. Hey. Welcome, Shannon. I didn't know if anybody was going to be here, Kentucky or Texas, so that's cool. I guess we'll just use one of these for a palette. So.
And then Grandpa said, Marissa? And Shannon said, hi, Mama.
Aw, hi, honey. Yeah, we got a heckler in the crowd, but we can't block him. He's related. Alright, so you can either choose to paint around or spackle around, but if you spackle, you're going to have to resin. So I'm going to choose to paint around the side in rock-like colors. You can leave this white or black in one color and then do an outline around your little geode crystals, and that's always a nice look. And then I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to go with the white and put my lines in, and then I'll come with that same white over the edge and paint and be able to just kind of keep that design going is what I'm thinking. I don't know what you're thinking.
I really don't know either what I am thinking today.
So we're just going to play in our spackling and in our paint. So you guys do the same thing. Have fun.
What resin do you use?
I use Pro-Marine resin.
Yes, it's that creation. That's for
Oh,
creation.
thanks, this and that.
This
Yep.
and that.
Pro-Marine. I've tried other ones, and I've tried their Pro-Marine resin, and that's fine for coating, but I like to coat my treasure boxes. I like to make pours, like big resin pours like this. I just did this so it would match something under the sea. But that is the regular Pro-Marine resin. It's got the UV protector stuff in it. It's an excellent resin. So I use it for everything. My ring holders, my canvases, the wood treasure boxes, all of that. So that's what I needed. And you know, you can see I do have a couple big bubbles in there. And I saw that. I honestly saw that. And I left it because it's like under the sea. And I thought it would add to it. But for the most part, I mean, you can get those out. But for the most part, it's a very clear resin. My sister uses it and gets no bubbles. I, on the other hand, do not. So, but I kind of like bubbles, so.
And I'm still struggling to get this glove all the way.
And the sweatier you get, the harder it gets.
Oh, that's great. Makes it even better for me.
You can always rip it off and start over. Look, you've succeeded. I'll tell you what, these, it's like, it's hard enough to, there we are, Minnie Mouse. We are ready. Let's do this. All right, so here is a palette. So
it looks like a gem piece. Beautiful, beautiful. Cool, thanks.
Aww.
Because Grandpa helped you out with the resin part question.
Oh, thank you. That's awesome. Thank you, honey. All right, so if you want to put just, you know, like forget the painting, you're excited, you want to go straight to the crystals, okay, that's cool. Just do a pouring medium and some glue, and you can put it down like that, or you can use your spackling or your wherever it is. I can't get to it. It's over there. Un momento. Okay, this is really nice for that because it's a clear, boy that's bright, sorry guys, clear acrylic gel gloss. So that I think is what we're going to use to put our crystals in, like that. So, and any of that you can go ahead and wait till it sets nice and, you know, 24 hours, 48 hours, and then go ahead and resin it. And that'll be the last step sometime down the road. So for now, I'm going to go ahead and paint around this in gray and white. And you can do whatever you feel like. Here's your little palette if you want to paint. Sorry.
Okay. I have no idea what I'm doing. Do I just like use any of these paints?
You can use those paints, or you can use the unicorn spits. The unicorn spit is going to, if you add water to it, you can just keep blending it. So it's kind of cool, but it doesn't add any thickness onto it. So I like using the spit right off the bat. And let me show you what it does. Like if I wanted to make it that look more rocky, you can just go on the highlights of whatever grain you've got. Like you've got a pretty cool grain there. So you could go with that and then just, or do whatever you want. I know it looks like wood right now.
Yeah, it's just kind of wood, but it's fine.
Oh yeah, it'll become a rock later.
Yeah, one day.
Or you don't even have to paint it, I don't know. Do whatever you want.
So just twist this open?
Yeah. And you do have to shake them.
Oh, okay. What was that again?
Sorry. Yeah, I forget you haven't been here when I'm doing the unicorn spit stuff. Much. Oh, that's so pretty. No, it doesn't look like a rock, but it's pretty. I'm going for that.
Share our life.
Hey, Sherry. I love the pictures. You guys look like you're having a blast.
Beautiful work. I saw that. That's what Grandpa said.
Oh.
What'd you see, Grandpa?
It's probably shook.
Probably should.
It's probably shook.
Oh. That's...
Sometimes it doesn't come out good, so you just, that's my bad. I need to clean it better.
Wow.
Yeah. Have to look shoot out after a while. Beautiful. You can just leave it open. I'll close them all afterwards. It'll be easiest. So I'm just getting carried away with this charcoal gray unicorn spit. I really like working with the unicorn spit on the treasure boxes because it goes right into the grain. And even though we're not trying to make it wood-like, we're trying to make it rock-like, it just has a very cool look to it. I need to stop and get these hinges off. Don't know where I put everything. Do you see a red and black screwdriver anywhere? Me either. There it is. Thank you.
Any more comments? Do you know how hard it is to get unicorn spit? That's what Grandpa said.
It's not difficult at all. Just go to Amazon. They have all the sets, and also you can buy that individually. The only thing I can see that there would be a problem getting the unicorn spit from Amazon is that the metallics, I think those are fairly new, but the sparkling you can get. I just went ahead and bought the big set because I wanted to try it, and I knew it was going to take me a lot of time to figure out what I could do with it, you know. So I wanted the colors, and then when I did that, and I loved the way it responded in the wood grains, I mean, I was hooked. So then I went back and got the sparkle. So you really need to play with it, especially put it into other mediums, acrylics, and use your alcohol inks if you work with any alcohol inks, because each time you do, you end up with a different flow or a different color you've never seen before. It's just amazing stuff. The nice part is too, it's non-toxic, and it smells either like jasmine or lemongrass, and that's by Essential Oils. So they did that good. Won't clog your sink, so it's not like acrylics.
I bet it's hard to get unicorn spit, LOL. The unicorn spit store, aka Amazon.
Right? That's exactly right. I mean, Michael's has it. Even Michael's has the metallics. But I just, you know, I don't want to go out anywhere. Because I have to. So you guys were down at the beach last night.
Yep.
I saw a picture your dad posted of a ton of people down there. It was
a lot.
Yeah.
It was like a sea of people right next to the sea.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, this is interesting.
Yeah, it's cool. No, I like it. All right, so let's go ahead. I'm gonna paint some white. Actual white. And it's just the acrylic Winsor Newton. And yeah.
Right, Marissa. Unicorn emoji, poop emoji, cookies emoji.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, she was the one that when you were like, what, 4 or 5, whatever it was, you were little, said, Grandma, I want you to cook unicorn poop cookies. And I was like shocked. I was, what? And I couldn't believe she said that, and she just died laughing. Anyway, she told me all about it, showed me, I guess you were a little older than that, showed me them on YouTube, And I couldn't believe it. It was like, oh, all right, I'll do it. But we did it really pretty with sparkles and lots of different colors. It was so fun. And we did it, gosh, I think 4 times every visit for the next 3 years after that. We haven't done it in a long time. So if you've never made unicorn poo cookies,
You should try it because it tastes good.
you definitely should try the experience of making them. And it is not done with unicorn spit, just so you know. It's totally in the kitchen. It's actual edible stuff. So I'm going around the edge with just this charcoal gray.
I'm not very good at explaining stuff. I'm
Yeah,
just
me
like,
either.
like.
When I was getting ready to decide whether I wanted to do this stuff live, I was like, you know, my brain was telling me why I couldn't do this. Because first of all, I'll run out of things to say. I won't have anything to say, and I'll just be sitting there looking like, you know, an idiot. And so I just went through all of the worst case scenarios, of course. And then I went and I watched other people who had just like done their first live, and I was like listening to one, bless her heart, she was adorable, and she said, well, I just did my first live, and she said, so then I watched, you know, they give you the opportunity to watch the replay, and you know, it is a hesitation that first time. It's like, I may not want to see it, you know. So I understood her hesitation, she said. But so she watched and she said, just in case anything was cringeworthy, I could, you know, fix that. And she said, the whole thing was cringeworthy. She said, cringeworthy, cringeworthy. It wasn't, I'm sure it wasn't. But it's a frightening and scary experience to go live for the first time. Of course, you never had that problem, you know, because you're a ham. You know, she did live before TikTok. Remember when it was Musical.ly? She did Musical.ly lives. So, and just natural as anything, just doing her thing, playing with toys and stuff like that. So that was just normal for you. That was cool. And then TikTok came in, so you couldn't.
Yeah, pretty much.
So there's a lot of different personalities out there. When you go into everybody else's lives, you know, I know our art tribe, we're all mostly polite. We understand the pressure of not only what we do, but then having to merge into the technology and the, you know, how do you post it where it's short enough that people will watch it, but long enough that it means something, you know. There's a lot to learn in this day and age as being an artist, and you can go as far or as not far into that direction as you want, because you know this is your journey. Mine happens to include this because I want to grow in that area. I want to be able to talk to people while I paint, and I'm looking forward to when I have a brick and mortar studio, people coming in and having a very interactive place, not a gallery. And so this is helping me just learn, you know, and so it's fun. It's been an awesome journey. So it was neat. I was like, I have a guest. You're gonna paint geodes.
I like interacting, but hard when I'm painting.
Yes, absolutely.
I just paint.
With an accent. Who was that?
I don't even. Painting right now.
Okay.
Sorry, I can't pronounce it.
That's okay.
But it sounds very unique, so.
Yes.
For now, if that's your name. I
Okay.
just want to let you know you have a very nice name. That I don't know. But it's fine.
So you can see we're just deciding wherever we want our little stuff. It's cute.
You know, I really think I'm kind of being a little bit of a mess, but, you know, it's fine.
I'm like, I don't want it in the middle. Where's it at? It's in the middle. I do that all the time. I don't want it to look like a heart. I look at it, it's like, it's a heart. It's like somebody else takes over. I don't know. Maybe instead of thinking what I don't want it to look like, I need to start thinking what I do want it to look like. But you know, I guess the thing is, I really don't care. I just want it to come together in a really cool way, the journey, the process. You get to discover cool things.
Very Bob Rossy.
Very Bob Rossi. I got my Bob Ross vibe going.
Yes.
And I'm just mixing the white acrylic. This is a beautiful paint. The Winsor & Newton titanium white. With my charcoal daydreams, weathered daydreams, gray.
Great.
Unicorn spin. Trying to get it to the point where I can seriously add some crystals.
Because that's like the most important part.
It really is. It's the part we're striving for right now. I like that rain stick. The nice thing about putting your acrylic in with your unicorn spit is taking your blending brush. That acrylic allows the unicorn spit to hang on and also be carried off just a little bit farther than it will do on its own over the grain. So you can get a nice smoky, I'll try and get one before I try and show you.
Mine looks kind of like a little blob on the camera.
Oh, I know.
Doesn't look right.
Oh, but that's cool. That's going to be neat. So anyway, kind of a more smoky fade than you would normally get with just your unicorn spit. Me anyway. I don't know. I like it. I like it a lot.
You know what you're striving for, and I have no idea mostly.
Oh.
That same person that I can't pronounce her name said that.
Paintings by Randall.
Oh, it said Randall? It said like...
Yeah, it's Paintings by Randall.
Oh, I thought it said
It's a
like Randall
bestie.
or something like that.
He's-
Bestie Randall.
Yep.
Blue blob, welcome to my world, LOL. Thank you, Randall. Yes. Love blue blobs.
Alright, now I want to kind of start marrying the side to the top, and I want
Marrying?
predominantly white up here, so I'm going to start adding some whites in here. And that is just the acrylic paint. I'm falling off my chair. It's okay. I'll pick you up, Grandma.
Fine.
So when she was little, she looked like a little... I won't say anything embarrassing. Really. She looked like a little pixie. Still does. Anyway, and she had put herself into this laundry basket, and we had spent all morning making up her face. She was really tiny, and she had drawing all over it and stuff. Anyway, but big brown eyes, and I said, "You're just my little pixie," and so that's why I call her that. It started there, and then one time she was coming for a visit, and I was excited, and she jumped out of the car, started running across the lawn, and I yelled out, "Pixie!" At the same time, she yelled out, "Grandma Pixie!" And I was like, "Wait, what?" And she just named me Grandma Pixie, so that's how that came about. So that was cool. I looked at my hubby and I was like, "I'll take it." That sounds good. Okay, so I've blended quite a lot of the white into my gray here. And I can just go back if I think that's too white, too flat, too boring, whatever. Just go back and add more color over it. You can just keep reworking it. If you're using your unicorn spit, just remember, if you're done and you want the piece not to be moving around, make sure you spray seal it first with like a Minwax polyurethane spray, oil-based. And then you can go either resin it or seal it again, or just keep painting without fear of losing what you've already accomplished. And you could do that several times. Paint, let it dry, seal it, and then start again. And that's the way I paint with my unicorn spit, is basically in layers. I'm not in any hurry really to get something done for the most part. I get over it sometimes, you know, we all do. Get tired of working on a piece and try and rush it. But that's a sad thing, so it's best just to step aside and work on something else. And that's what the beauty of the treasure boxes is for me, is I have treasure boxes in all sorts of stages, so I can come in and, you know, spend as little or as much time as I want just working on the treasure boxes, different stages.
Randall said, "Do you use a lot of pressure?"
Pressure.
Does it say that? Yeah, do you use a lot of pressure? Like when you're like probably painting with the unicorn spit?
I do not.
I don't know if that's what it means, but
I don't either.
okay.
I don't know. I don't think so. Music got sad.
It did. It kind of ruined the vibe over here. Making all depressing.
It's going lower. It's gotta come
Everybody's kind of just
up. Chilling. Ah, there it is. Rain stick.
A little bit more of the rain stick.
Love the rain stick. I love anything about water. I think that's what really caught my eye on the paintings by Randall, people. If you haven't followed him, follow him. But most of his painting has water in it somewhere, and he's an oil painter, but I'll tell you, it's beautiful work. And I used to paint with oils. I started out in oils. My mama taught me. So I was interested when I saw him going live, and so it was really cool. And the thing is, you can take whatever you learn on anybody's live and take it back to your own medium and start working those techniques. So, and it's just neat to hang out and support other artists. I totally appreciate you guys. I appreciate Randall, all the shares and all the stuff. So, and I appreciate Eleandras, this and that. You guys, Nadita was in here the other day, forever, bless it. It really matters. It's really nice. Don't take you for granted. I've got a zebra box, people. I don't know.
Sliving.
Ooh, I just want to see a mermaid in that pool.
There's a little lighthouse on the end too.
Yeah, you know me well. That's funny. Sassy. I'm surprised there's not a lighthouse in the rock.
The lighthouse just stick it right there on the side. They won't notice.
I'm gonna definitely have to start adding some bling. So I'm just gonna, I know it looks really boring right now, but I'll just keep working around it.
It looks fabulous.
And I really do like to work that way on the treasure boxes. Just, and even on canvases, I will start with just blocking in some color. So sorry. And then just move from spot to spot. I don't do any particular way. And I do the same with the treasure boxes. It keeps it fresh. You're working on different sides and stuff. So don't try and follow me. Just do it. Just follow your own heart, whatever you're working on right now.
Just follow your dreams.
Follow your dreams. So what I have is I have some gold flake. So that might be kind of pretty and something. And we also, we have the gold flake. I'm talking to Pixie. Okay, and then we have the silver mica powder. And when you open this, it will go like everywhere, but it's super shiny and it's silver, so it's gorgeous.
Don't worry, my blob turned into roses.
Yes, I saw that. That was amazing. And then we have these pins. These metallic pins. That might work. And is there a silver tube in that first row right there?
Silver tube?
Maybe not. I might put it someplace else. Okay, never mind. Anyway. So I'm gonna just put some gloss. And you can mix your colors into your gloss. It doesn't have to be clear. So don't worry if you want to have like a transparent color and you don't have one. Go ahead and mix it in with the gloss, mix it in really well, and you will have one. And I'm just putting it clear, so it'll dry clear. It's white right now, but it'll dry clear.
Adding a little bit of shading to my unicorn spit.
Nice.
So you can just turn your brush to the side and like.
Yes.
Hacks by yours truly.
Very good.
Very good.
I think I want some. I do.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
You want some?
I do, right there.
Some glue right there?
Yep. Do you know what colors you're going to use?
No idea.
May I have black?
Sure,
Ooh.
I guess.
Wait. Sure, I guess. No, you cannot have black. I just want one little bit of this. Is going to be a pain. I'm taking my gloves off. I'm going in. Cover me.
Going in, girl.
So I have, little tweezers. That might work. But that also might be more of a pain than actual fingers. So I'm thinking probably the end of a spatula would be the best. See any spatulas?
I need some white.
So this is how I'm thinking. is like just pour it down the side of the spatula, but that's probably not gonna work. So I'm gonna pour it on the edge right there.
Melody painted a lighthouse that had a picture of a lighthouse hanging on the wall inside.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
It's like a double lighthouse inside a lighthouse.
Yep.
It's very interesting.
This is so pretty.
Nice
Man.
little blob.
Do you have any?
A dimensional blob.
Any? I don't see any clear. That's weird, isn't it? Yeah, I know Gradimus. He, if you guys don't follow Gradimus, check him out. He is a artist that works in multimedia. Wood burning was the thing I first found him on, and he has some incredible work. And he works with foam and stuff, making coral scenes and under the sea scenes. It's just beautiful.
Under the sea.
That's right. Break out in song, sis. So this is pretty.
I absolutely love the art behind you, is what Burning Conclusion said.
Oh, the eyeball? Thank you. That's still in process. That was a happy accident. It was a galaxy and it was turning out really good. There were no trees, there was nothing, just a galaxy. And then everyone told me to stop. Randall's, Sherry.
Randall, you are... Sherry and Randall, you guys need to, like, just trust the process and stop being so judgmental, because
No.
this is pretty and you guys are suckers.
It almost went in the trash, I have to say. On their behalf, they were correct. If I wanted to keep it a galaxy, they were correct. I needed to stop there, so there's that. However, you know, you were right in the way that something really cool is happening back here, so, you know, I guess it's just a matter of, okay, if you lose something, don't give up, just keep going. You know, that's what I'm thinking. If you want to, oh, it's open. I was gonna say, if you want, you can just unscrew it, but it comes out real fast. So I'm going for an amethyst in here. And I'm loving what's happening. Oh, pretty. I'm gonna have to get rid of some of those stripes because it does look zebra-ish. But I think I'll just fade it to gray on some of them, not have like white, black, but I don't know, we'll see. Hope your guys, this is turning out good, whatever you're doing. I'm gonna add some more of that dark. I thought it was black, but it looks like dark purple. I was concerned when I first saw these little containers that it was not going to be enough of the little gems, but clearly it is. So that's cool, because we still want to do the inside of the box to make it look agate-like or whatever as well, so we need gems for that. And I just went ahead and bought 12 of these little boxes just for geodes. Geode making in the epoxy sculpt and the spackling. And it was a great price. I just bought it from Amazon, so I know they probably still have it. And it comes in a set of 12. And in all of those 12s, I didn't have any issue with the latches being wonky or anything like that, so that was pretty cool. When I go ahead and post this video to my YouTube channel, which, by the way, if you don't subscribe, it's Cape Charles Art. I post all of my lives there. So when I post it, I'll put either in the description or I'll just take a picture and put it up with the video of the products that I'm talking about today.
Very smart.
Thank you. I learned it from you, probably.
From me.
You're my tech person when I don't have Grandpa.
Let's see what. Shannon tagged Grandpa and said bye.
Oh, bye, honey. Love you. Thanks for hanging out as long as you did.
Oh, what on earth is going on with that filter? I just popped it over like a little flower crown.
Oh, thank you. Was it Randall? Probably. Oh, thank you so much.
What, did I give him a gift?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you have 2 gifters.
Aw. Thanks, guys. I know, the first time I saw that, I was like, what the? I didn't understand. That was funny.
Thanks for the gifts. Grandpa's spamming your likes with.
Aw.
Yeah,
That's nice.
giving you all the likes.
He is, like, uber supportive.
Your main liker.
Yes. My cheerleader.
I could see him in pom-poms.
I hope you didn't hear that. That's funny. Nothing wrong with pom-poms. Just saying. I'm just mirroring the gloss medium. It looks yellow. It's just an old container. There we go. Anyway, that right over the top of the crystals that I have in the corner there. And remember, it'll turn, this white will turn clear, so it'll be embedded in this clear, all those pretty crystals. How fun, huh? Don't you just want to do a gazillion of these in all sorts of different colors? I do.
Personally, I do. Well, we got the little rain thing again.
Yeah, rain stick. Oh, falling off my high chair. Aw, thank you.
Oh, that was the other gifter. It was Burning Glusions.
Oh, thank you so much. I'll have to check you out.
They're sending you all the
What's
gifts.
really nice though what TikTok does is, I don't know, you guys probably already know this, but I'm just learning this stuff as I go. Anyway, afterwards you get to go back and see who was there, how long they stayed, and you know, half the time I've met the best people because they like stayed past the 10-minute mark. It's like, oh, okay, you know, and I go and check them out and see what they're into, if they're doing lives. If not, maybe they're waiting to get to their 1,000 and then you can help share their stuff. And it's just a really cool thing to get involved with the art community. So I really appreciate you guys, the gifts, the tapping on the screen, the communication, everything. I appreciate it. And I will do likewise.
And I think that's Randall, that's the top gifter. So thank you, Randall,
Aw.
for giving her money.
And she's so tactful at this age. That's funny. We're gonna turn this into a comedy show here. I'm beginning to be hesitant about these little crystals because I put the gel on and I'm suddenly getting an orchid color, like it might be painted glass that has not been sealed. So this could be interesting.
Well, whatever I'm doing is supposed to be pretty interesting.
What are you doing?
I don't know. That's why it's interesting.
We'll have some rain stick. Relax. Breathe. Yeah, it's definitely taking that color off. So that's interesting. That's no big deal. I mean, whatever.
No big deal. She's just a brilliant painter.
Put some alcohol ink on it and let it dry, and it'll be fine.
Everything's fine. It's fine, guys. We have artists supporting artists.
Yes, whoever said that.
Your second top gifter.
Aw, thank you. Absolutely. Okay, so back to the gloves. What colors are you going to put in?
I don't know.
Okay.
Probably blue or something. No idea.
Nice. Intuitive art. I like it. Just let it flow.
It's probably gonna be like a frosty kind of thing.
Ooh.
Kind of like something that I'd like want to eat, you know?
Yep.
I can't.
Yep.
Like everything that I make. Because everything that I make is not edible because I made it horribly, but I want to eat it.
Do you like cooking?
Well, yeah, but you know, I can eat the food because it's gross. Not very good.
I don't think that's true. You cooked something. What was that?
Toast.
No. It was the egg tortilla cheese.
That was you. That
It
was my mom.
us. You told me how.
I can make a really good scrambled omelet, though.
I bet. Are you hungry? I am. My stomach's
Yeah.
growling. We didn't eat. I'm a lousy grandma.
I just forgot to eat.
I was working.
Things you do for life.
Yeah, Fruit Loops.
Fruit Loops.
Alright, so I just added some very wisteria alcohol ink. Dropped it right into that. So I've got a very bright on one side, very dark on the other. And I just kind of want to mix them in together with maybe a toothpick. Some gel. It's nice having someone in the studio with me.
All good vibes.
Absolutely.
Toast. Don't make fun of my toast, Randall. First you're telling her to stop continuing painting, and now you're judging my toast. Who do you think you are?
I can see that this could turn bad. Let's keep this topic on painting. That's funny.
You commented about my toast.
That's okay. He knows the family.
You know,
Sherry's sarcastic as well. We all are. So is he.
Burning illusions, painting with Randall, something like this. So I'll just spam on your legs. Giving you a voice.
Aw, thank you. Appreciate that, you guys. Very much. It's nice having someone in here reading what's going on. You want to move back?
Oh, your husband is also hungry.
Oh, my husband's hungry.
I think he'll be fine because he just ate like ice cream or something. So I think he's fine. I think you're just being dramatic. And I think that you should get yourself another ice cream because we're busy. So you're gonna have to fend for yourself this time. Sorry. Not sorry.
I have to have some more glitter over here. You know, I'm gonna
Always
have glitter
need
all
some
over
glitter.
there.
I can't move my hair back, so I look kind of emo right now.
You look beautiful as always. Doesn't matter if you just roll out of bed. I was almost afraid to wake you up because I figured you guys got in pretty late last night.
But yeah, I usually just set an alarm so I don't oversleep. Because my alarm turned on and then it was like, you can't waste any of the day, can ya?
Right?
That's what Grandpa said. And then I set another one because sometimes I don't wake up on the first alarm. And he was like, oh, is that nap time? And every single time, like at 9, for some reason, this one time when I had to like go to bed for school, I set myself a bedtime alarm. Not
I do
alarm,
too.
Like a little bedtime thing.
Bell, I have
Yeah.
that.
I'm like, hey, you should like go to bed now.
And then on the watch, it's like tells me to breathe.
Yes, it's so annoying. It's like, breathe for a second. I'm like, no, I'm at the
Or
grocery store right
stand.
now.
Time to stand up. And then it's like, oh, you closed a ring. I stood up as often as I needed to that day. I'm like, that's a little ridiculous.
I didn't know there was a daily average for you to stand up. You're not healthy if you don't stand up enough.
Right, you really do need to get up.
And
If
then
you
sit back
can.
down. If you can.
Well,
Or disabled people.
right, I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
There's always that.
Gotta be inclusive.
Well, we are definitely going to call it good for today because I just can't do more purple anywhere. And I'm going to have to put white back on this because it's getting really pink and I don't want... Oh, that's so pretty. I love that color.
I forgot about this side.
That's what I do too. And we haven't even started on the inside thinking yet, so... But that color is the Zeoteal on the Unicorn Spirit. It's fabulous. In any ocean paintings, there's a lot of Zeoteal in that eyeball painting back there. So this is where it's going to stay for today. Like that. That's still really messy. And like that.
A little blob. Now we do a little bit of a close up.
And I just appreciate you guys hanging out with us, and thank you for moderating for me and being a guest. Marissa, I appreciate it. Did you want to say who to follow? Did you want them following you or no?
Follow me at Marissa GOC. Marissa GOC.
There you go. So anyway, I appreciate everybody. Love and light to y'all, and we'll see you on Thursday.